I still haven't figured out how to stop the lady from talking, but I don't mind her. She stays quiet for the duration of our recording. So,
I was talking to Toby this week.
mm. Toby, I love the Toby.
He's taking clarinet lessons, or is it flute lessons? It's flute or clarinet. He has a recital this weekend. If you want to wish him well, you'll probably appreciate it. It's not code for anything. He's actually taking lessons.
No, I'm not saying anything
I've seen pictures.
of the clarinet.
It's a clarinet or a flute, and I can't remember which it is. In
Oh,
either case,
and
his
is it
instructor,
silver? Is it silver or is it black and another color?
I know the difference. I just don't remember what it was. I was a music major.
Yet, you were a music major. Yet,
Yet, because of concussions, I don't remember.
yeah, sure. It is
His
what it is.
his teacher
Mm-hmm.
has instructed him to find this certain video so he
Mm-hmm.
can practice his tongue technique. Uh, Apparently, he has to learn how to flutter his tongue. So, and it's by this one gentleman named Dick Smith. So, in his YouTube search, he had to type in the keywords "fluttering tongue Dick." I don't think it went well for Toby. I really don't. This is a real conversation.
I'm pretty sure that Mr. Toby has questions.
I'm pretty sure
There's
those questions
Toby.
have been
There's
answered.
Toby and Mr. Toby, so I'm sure Mr. Toby had questions. Like,
Afterward,
what are you looking for exactly?
I'm sure Mr. Toby was very appreciative if he actually found the right video. Or the wrong video. This is fodder for the show, by the way. Oh, we're recording now. Son of a bitch.
We are
This is
recording,
great.
and this is the pre-show because we're probably not going to have an after show, so we're giving you all of the good stuff now.
Now.
So, on that happy note, are you ready to kick this show off?
Sure.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey, Fish, how was the doctor visit?
Fantastic. He said I am the picture of health. I can touch myself inappropriately anytime I want.
He said what exactly?
Look, he wrote it right here in black and white. Look.
Just give me that. Let me see. Fish, this says you could have a stroke at any time.
Same difference. Same difference.
No, it's not. Please stop. This, you can't confuse the two things. There's a marked difference. You have to stay healthy.
That will keep me healthy. Gets my heart rate up.
So can a run outside.
Not as fun.
Fun for whom?
Good loving.
There's many ways to love yourself. Wait a minute.
I'm coming.
Sure you are, and your doctor's probably wondering why you took your pants off, even though he said he didn't need to check you there.
He bought me lunch afterwards.
I'm pretty sure he did.
We don't make eye contact.
Welcome. Of course not. Welcome, everybody, to another wonderful Saturday and another edition of Room 13. We are broadcasting, as we always do, from the Desert Air Motel Convention Center, Casino, former Bunny Slopes, only during the
we're
winter
from Wisconsin
seasons.
now?
I don't know where that accent came from. Okay? Relax. It's been a tough week. It's been a very tough week.
Continue.
Continue. Yes. If you want to listen to more of this, whatever this is that you and I have, if you want to listen to more of it, you can catch it all through all the podcast platforms, of which there are many. The main ones being Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Are we on Stitcher? I don't know. We're on Stitcher.
That's the
We're
one
on
that doesn't like us.
Spotify. Oh, we can't be friends then. That's
Yeah.
okay. You know, all the good places, all the really good places. You know, Stitcher, not so much. Stitcher, 5 out of 10.
Stitcher, I barely knew her.
There you go.
Stitcher,
There
I damn
you
near
go.
killed her.
No. That's a different one. It's rectum. Rectum. Damn near killed him.
I didn't go near anybody guy's rectum. Thank you.
No.
Thank you very
The
much.
doctor went, no, never mind.
Those are rumors.
Sure. You can find us also on social media. Room 13 Radio Show on Facebook, at Room 13 Show on Twitter, Rocky with an I on Twitter, and well, the Riverfish. Mr. Riverfish there. We're also on TikTok, Room 13 Show, and we are on YouTube, Room 13 Show as well. Funny, we created a channel called Room 13 Show, and here we have a show called Room 13 Show. Isn't that great?
We're also on all the important socials like Tinder, Bumble, eHarmony, Farmers, and Grindr.
I think it's farmersonly.com.
Yeah, that's the one.
We don't
That's
have
the
an
one.
we don't have an OnlyFans page though, so there's
Ooh.
that.
That's not a bad idea.
For that one, yeah, actually, it depends. I mean, there's a lot of people that will pay to see people do weird things. So
That's the show basically in general.
yes, only we don't get paid. I mean, we get paid in non-monetary things. You can't put a price on the things that we get, like coffee. Because coffee is very important, especially at this time of the morning. Oh, how has your week been, Fish?
Ooh, let's see. I leave for the Middle East tomorrow. Going on a couple-day adventure to the Middle East.
So you're going to become a sand creature?
There's no sand in the Middle East. There's no sand in the Middle East. There's not a drop of sand. Well, there's some beaches. Yeah, there's some beaches in the Middle East, but that's about it as far as sand.
Well, it depends on where in the Middle East exactly you're going that there's beaches. I don't necessarily...
Ohio. I'm going to Cleveland.
That doesn't count.
It's in the east. It's definitely not the East Coast, and it's in the middle, so it's the Middle East. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Silly man. Silly man.
Other than that, my tryout with Nickel City Wrestling is next Sunday, so I've been working out, getting ready for that one. Spoiler alert, guys. I'm 44 years old. I saw an advertisement for tryouts for a professional wrestling company, and I asked myself, what would Doc do? I don't know if Doc would do this, but I decided why not. So I'm going in. I've applied, I've put down the money, and hopefully, God willing, I'll be back next week. I will update and give...
If I don't hear from you a couple of days in a row, I'll know that something happened to you. Or that your texting finger broke.
Something definitely broke if you're not hearing from me for a couple days.
That's some serious stuff. I mean, what made you turn to wrestling? Like, for those of you that don't know Fish as well as I do, I know that he loves wrestling. So it kind of came as a shock, but it didn't really. So I'm curious to know, is this like a midlife crisis kind of thing, or?
I don't think it's a midlife crisis as much as I had it on my to-do list when I was 20, but I didn't know.
But you do realize that you were 20 when you made that bucket list of sorts, right?
Yeah, but I think I'm in better shape than I was when I was 20. I'm definitely in better shape than I was when I was 20 because I've done half marathons. I can do yoga. I can.
Granted, yeah, I'll give you that. But you also have to remember you have the body of a 44-year-old. And for the most part, professional wrestlers are usually retired around this time of their life.
And I would use the example of Diamond Dallas Page, who didn't start wrestling until his late 30s.
Well, you do have a point.
So, just seemed like something kind of cool to do. I'm like, I could, why not? I couldn't think of any why nots. So, might as well. Why put it off?
Okay, I mean it's another way of exercising when you put it, when you look at it from that particular point of view, it is a way to remain active. It just means that you're going to put your body through a couple of extra hits.
When I talked to the guy that runs the company,
Mhm.
he presented it as being a workout slash tryout. He's like, for X amount of dollars, he's like, we'll give you a tryout. It's a great workout. Otherwise, come on in. We're looking for referees, wrestlers, and managers. And I'm like, cool, because actually, all I want to do is be a manager. Because
Okay.
again, I'm 44, going to be 45.
Okay.
But if I
Mhm.
can, at age 44, actually do it, I'd freaking love to.
Okay. I mean, I have to tell you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I think that that's a very big step.
Think about the end of Titanic. Remember the movie? After Jack gets kicked off the door frame by
I was
freaking
I was
Rose.
going I was going to say, yeah, it's like you mean after she like almost like dunked his head in the cold water?
Yeah. I love you,
Yes.
Jack. I love you, Jack.
I
Now get
love you
off the
so
door.
much. Yes. Let me
So the
live.
the end of the movie is all those still frame pictures of Rose doing all these cool adventures, having this
Mhm.
great life, doing all these new challenges and living her life to this big extreme. She made a very full life.
Mhm.
And when she was dead, when she's dying and at the end, she looks back at her life and really realizes that she lived a really full, exciting life.
Mhm.
And for me, that's one of the things that I definitely want to make sure I don't do. That at age 80, whatever, that I look back and go, oh, I wish I would have done
What did
that.
I do with my life?
Yeah,
Okay.
what did I do? And I really wish I would have done this. I don't want that. That's why we're doing this show. We got the chance to do a
Mhm.
podcast. I mean, granted, you had already been successful on another show, but we got a chance to do a show. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, why the frick not? Why
This
not?
is true. This is true. And in retrospect, this is a week that I took the time to almost like reminisce on some of the things that have happened in my life, and almost like reminisce about the past, and kind of like evaluate, this is where I was 20 years ago and this is where I am now. This is what I'm capable of doing, and blah blah blah. And this is one of those things where honestly in my 20s, like 20 years ago, I never imagined that I would be where I am right now. And it's been an interesting path. I wouldn't change it for the world. It hasn't been perfect. Nothing ever is. But it's been it's life. It's life, and my life may not be as exciting as the lives of others, but this is my life. I'm living it how I see fit, and I've been able to accomplish a lot of things that I never imagined that I would be where I am right now.
I mean,
Ever.
just speaking from this show,
Hmm.
9 months ago we started.
Yeah.
And 9 months ago, we depended a lot on Chris Branham because Chris Branham was our Yoda.
Yes.
And
Still is
and
for
he
some
still is. You,
things.
you go for him for advice when you need help, when you need a little idea, when you need hey, I got a question.
Hmm.
Otherwise, guys, peek behind the curtain. Rocky does all the sound effects. She does all the mixing. She does all the little cute little, things when it comes to the show where, this little sound piece gets involved and the
The little
balancing and everything else.
touches.
I
Yeah.
mean, not only does she have to joust with me or keep me freaking and contained, but she also does all the production. So, I mean, I take
But
my
you
hat
are
off
the
right
but
now,
you
but
are but you are the script, not the script, because we don't really have a script. We had
we
guidelines.
have guidelines.
We kind of have an idea what we want to do. But
And
you
right now
do.
we're off the guideline, by the way.
Yes. What guideline? Come on. People don't really come to us to listen to structure. Um, because you have more flexibility when it comes to time, and you're the one who sits in the car while you're working, while you're out in the field. You get these quiet moments where you can formulate these scenarios in your head of, I have an idea about this, I have an idea about that. And I'm almost always on board because you and I think alike in that sense. So, you know,
Ooh,
he runs with it, and I just sign it. I blindly sign off on it.
yeah, every couple of days it's like, hey, by the way, the production sheet, did you look at it? No, I'll look at it later. Okay, because everything's done. Okay. Not like you don't do anything, but your side of it is the technical production side. My side is
Yes.
the, hey, write something funny, monkey boy. So, speaking of which, Knights Who Say Knee, I will be contacting you shortly. I have a cool idea for an open next week, and I will be using your talents. So I think you're listening. If you haven't given up on us just yet. I
He's
mean, he's one of 2
listening.
listeners. So
Yes. Well, I want to say probably like 5 listeners.
I have a fun idea I want to play with.
I'm sure. I'm sure of it. So yeah, we're talking about like where we've come and where we were 20 years ago versus now and so on and so forth. And one of the things that I was reminiscing only because I had touched on it last week was the topic of hair. So
Oh man.
I took, and you know how you were talking about living your life, your best life, and all of that fun stuff. There's a gentleman, very colorful character by the name of Brad Mondo. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, negative.
He's a stylist, and he puts out these videos of him like telling people, giving people tutorials about hair and hair coloring and doing this, that, and the other. So I always watch his videos because he's got reaction videos when people do crazy things with their hair. And, he reacts to them and gives them tips like, no, that's not what you do. If you want to get this look, you have to try it this way, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, don't ask me why this came across my feed where he gives a tutorial on how to cut your own hair. Now, yes, now, the last time anybody outside of a stylist had cut my hair was my mom, where I would sit on the floor in front of my mother on some cushions or whatever. My mom used to sew and make her own clothes back in the day, back before all 3 of us came along. And so my mom would just basically like take my hair and just straight cut. Just
I remember those days when I had
straight.
hair.
Yep, yep, yep. And I was the only girl, so of course, you know, this was before I decided to go to the hair salon down the street and choosing my own haircut. So in the video, he explains this is what you do. You do this, you do that, and it's gonna look great. And he explains, it's like this is we're doing it this specific way because when you finish this step and you let your hair down, then you see the layers and you see everything that you wanted to do. And I'm like, oh, that looks simple enough. And my hair is long enough where I'm like, you know what? I thought about it. I've watched the video a couple of times just so that I can get the idea of how to do it. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't look complicated. And my hair's long enough that if I mess it up, I can go to Great Clips tomorrow and they can take care of it for me.
Fix this. Fix this.
Please fix this. And the next morning I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the plunge. I'm going to try it. And so I did. I cut my own hair and this is actually the result of it.
That's a really nice wig.
It's my real hair.
Hey.
Like it's,
So
it's
how much did you take off? Because I don't remember.
I took probably in the way that the hair gets cut, I took about an inch off. So I was still able to maintain the length of the hair. And I still did. It actually looks better than if I would have gone to a Great Clips or a Fantastic Sam's to get a haircut because I can never, even when I explain it to them of what it is that I want, they can never get it right.
I
So
hate that.
and it's like even when you bring pictures, you tell them, I want my hair to look kind of like that. I know that the texture is different. I know, but I know my hair. I know this is going to work because I've had my hair like this before. And I have pictures of myself with my hair exactly how I want it, and they still get it wrong.
Make me
They
look
get
like
it too
this.
short. Yes. It's like they either make it too short or they don't make the layers as long as I want them to. They can never get it right. But this time I did it. I took the plunge. I cut my hair myself, and I'm actually pretty damn happy with the way that it turned out.
How'd the purple turn out?
Like auburn.
Oh,
I did. It was it's a box color because I'm cheap that way. Not cheap, thrifty. Um, it's called Cool Amethyst. It was really pretty purple, but it turned out more like aubergine.
you're talking hair color to a bald man.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
Just
it's like
checking.
an auburn, but with like a slight purple hint. But it's more auburn than anything, which was very disappointing that
The
it didn't
important
turn out the way that I wanted it to. So my hair looks lighter at the roots, but it still looks like my regular hair color at the bottom. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to try this again.
The important vote, the important voter. That's a thing. How did Mr. Rocky like it? Because his vote counts the most.
His vote counts. He couldn't tell the difference in my hair color.
Oh, Batman, you're supposed to lie, son of a. Oh, Tom.
I can't get him to do that. Come on. But as far as the hair is concerned, he likes that my hair is still long. So, and actually, this is probably compared to where I had it around this time a year and a half ago. It's actually longer now than it was before, and he likes the long hair. So I'm actually gonna try and go see how long I can go with my hair. But because the difference wasn't really all that much, I maintained the length and I just have more layers, which was what I wanted to do. Um, he was just like, oh, it looks okay, you know. Textbook man answer. It looks okay.
No, that's a great opportunity for points. And Batman, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, that's like it took me down memory lane because I was never that bold to decide to cut my own hair. Like I've colored my hair at home before, so that's not a big step. And I've done purple before. I may actually use the brand that I originally used when I dyed my hair purple about 2 years ago. This time I used a different brand and a slightly warmer color. So I think I may go back to the one that I used before to see if I can achieve the result that I was looking for. But as far as cutting my hair, I had never done that before. And it just reminded me of, it's like all of the times that my mom and I would bond over her cutting my hair.
Are you going to cut Melissa's hair now?
No,
No, not
no,
that much.
no, it's not.
Or is it?
In Melissa's case, because she's autistic, I have to serve as the point of distraction so that the person cutting her hair can do her job.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So I'm usually there to soothe her, calm her. If I need to sit her on my lap, I'll sit her on my lap while the person cuts her hair. And with Melissa, her hair, because it's still beautiful, young, virgin hair that hasn't been treated with anything other than Kit shampoo and Kit conditioner and maybe a little bit of detangler. It hasn't seen any kind of suffering. You can just let it dampen up and it curls beautifully. So I just basically have it straight cut, just cut shoulder length cut so that I can get her ready in the mornings and I'm out the door and she's out the door. I can't do anything fancy with her hair.
Hmm.
I have to keep it as simple as possible.
So do you want to hear my funny story now?
Yes, please. I've been dying. when when Fish writes the production sheet, he always writes like 5 words of what it is that he wants to talk about for his fish story. And it's a teaser. He always teases me with that header. And this time I'm really curious to know what it is. Yes, thank you. I'm really curious to know what it is that you're going to talk about.
So I've been on the road all this week. You're my
Mhm.
only day off. I mean, I peek behind the curtain, people. Right now it's Friday. I got home yesterday. I've been on the road the whole week. But Sunday I was home. The car needed to be washed. I had some errands to do. So I'm running some errands. I'm doing this and that. And I passed by, I'm through the hometown I grew up in. I grew up in West Seneca, New York, and which is a suburb of Buffalo.
Mhm.
And I passed by this one major intersection, and there are these high school girls with signs that reads car wash,
Oh no.
flagging, oh, please don't. See, now, if you were with me, you would have saw what happened coming because I screwed up. I definitely screwed up. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't hurt anybody, but it got very, very awkward very quickly. So, backstory, Fish was a cheerleader in high school.
Mhm.
So I have a certain affinity for cheerleaders, more than any man would regularly. I mean, me being a man, it's like, oh, cheerleaders, yay. Um, you know, but because I was a cheerleader, I kind of, what's the
You,
what's the word I'm looking for? We're symbiotic. I have
yes,
a
yes.
certain,
They have a soft spot in your heart.
yes, they have a soft spot in my heart. When I was in high school, they had a soft, well, never mind.
Never.
So I think we can all do the joke right now in our heads. I'll give you a chance all to laugh. Okay, good. So I'm picturing ladies in their t-shirts that advertise, Westlake West cheerleading, and they're in their shorts that's cheerleader on it, and they have signs, car wash, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I pull over the side of the road by the gas station, and I'm like, hey, ladies, I'm like, car wash. They're like, yes. And I'm like, how much? They're like, just need a donation. So I look at my wallet. All I got is a 10 spot. So I'm like, hey, all I got is 10. They're like, that's great. I'm like, you can have it. So I gave them the 10 spot, and they're like, sir, if you could just pull around behind the gas station, the rest of our team is there and they'll wash your car. I'm like, great, fantastic. So I slowly pull my way around the side of the gas station and around the corner into the back. And there I see them. And this is the moment that I realized, holy crap, I screwed up. Because the cheerleaders were in bikinis. They were working on their tan lines while they were washing cars. They were doing two things at once. And when I was in high school and college, I would think this is like a fantasy of mine. But because I'm a 44-year-old man who is old enough to be the father of any of these young ladies, I felt so creepy so quick. So I followed the directions of the ladies, and I'll keep saying ladies at this point, to where I should park my car. And I rolled down the window, and I'm like, hey, ladies, I'm like, where should I go? They're like, oh, no, sir, just stay in the car and we'll wash your car for you. And about 2 minutes into this endeavor, I realized this was very uncomfortable. And I'm like, yeah, and I got out of my car real quick. I got a little hit by the hose. Their hose, not my hose. Stop being so dirty. And I'm like, hey, I was like very nervous and very just like uncomfortable at this point. I'm like, I'm going to go into the gas station and y'all can wash my car. Like, oh, sir, you can stay inside. We'll wash your car. And they're in these little bikinis and skimpy things because there's not much left of the imagination anymore. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go get a coffee and another coffee and another coffee until y'all are done, because I don't want to be anywhere near. This is all inside my head.
This is we're gonna put a pin on this right now because I'm on pins and needles right now. Room 13 will be back in about 2 minutes.
So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
I have to say that where you can hear us, because I forgot to do that at the opening.
Oh, there's a whole bunch that we missed in the opening.
Just flying by the seat of our pants like we always do.
I definitely want to go back and do our new sponsor. It's right above the headline first segment. It's Kinsey's Boat Store. Did you not double click on the production sheet?
Yes. Oh.
That's why I went into the whole little different dating apps.
Yeah, I see it now.
I'm like, Rrr.
Oh, we can do it when we come back.
The car wash was so, oh, good. Fish's Story is now sponsored by Kinsey's Boat Store.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
never felt more uncomfortable, because the bikinis girls are wearing nowadays, there's not much left of the imagination.
There really isn't. As someone who has been buying swimsuits lately, it's become increasingly difficult to find a swimsuit that provides the coverage that a mom with a mom bod is looking for. And with
Today's
Melissa,
word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is modesty. Modesty.
Yes. No, you can't see that nowadays.
Men find that attractive. Modesty. Mm-hmm. Let us use our imagination. We're really good at it. We've had practice. And hours and hours of porn. We are very good at what we do.
I can tell you, and let me see where we'll be coming up to the end of the break soon, but not that there's anything wrong with finding feminine details in swimsuits, but there's a thin line. So here we go in about 3, 2, 1. It's like we're the king and queen of timing, aren't we? I don't know how the heck we do it. Welcome back to Room 13. Thank you for listening. I'm sure you're listening to us on Mojo 50, Odyssey, and World Broadcasting Network because we forgot to give them a shout out at the beginning of the show.
Oh, don't fire us. Don't fire. Well, they're
We
probably already
had
fired.
we had a
Yeah.
plan, and by we I mean me, I kind of messed it all up because we missed a very important sponsor that Mr. Fish is going to tell you about.
Fishtails. We have now a sponsor for our Fishtails. I'm very excited to announce that Kinsey's Boat Store is our sponsor of our Fishtails. And this week, only Kinsey's Boat Store is having a sale on paddles. It's quite the ordeal. Tell them Room 13 sent you and you get 10% off your purchase. Don't be caught up a river without a paddle from Kinsey's Boat Store. Check your local listings for the Kinsey's Boat Store near you. Kinsey's Boat Store. Thank you very much.
I needed a rim shot. I needed a rim shot. So you went back inside at the gas station mini mart while the young ladies in skimpy swimsuits were washing your vehicle
There's a
because you didn't want to
thin,
seem creepy.
yeah, because there's a thin line between creepy and appropriate, and that thin line was what was holding most of their material up. Because I don't know how the hell that stays up, but yeah, I felt creepy within the first 2 minutes, and I'm like, I gotta get out. Nope, I don't, because I don't know even where. Not only don't I know what to do with my hands, which was keeping it right on the wheel. I'm like, hands on the wheel.
10
Hands
and
on the
2, 10
wheel.
and
10 and
2.
2, 10 and 2 people. But I don't know where to put my eyes. It was the most ridiculous, uncomfortable. Here's another story for you. I still go to basketball games with my daughters. My one daughter's a big basketball freak. And we would go to the University of Buffalo basketball games. We would sit front row courtside. It was great.
Mhm.
But the bad part is the college cheerleaders would go right in front of the crowd and do their whole little cheers and their whole little opening spiels and dances. And they're 5 feet in front of me. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to stare at the girl in front of me? How am I supposed to smile? Do I make eye contact? I don't know. Should I look down? Should I look up? Should I smile? Should I applaud? I don't know where to put my eyes. And my daughter's looking at me too, like, I wish you'd get out of my freaking way. I want to watch the
Stop being
game.
so creepy,
Why are you
Dad.
bouncing? And I'm just like, she's bouncing up and down, and I'm trying not to nod my head up and down with the time of her bouncing, and I'm just like, so uncomfortable. I'm like, just don't. I'm with my daughters. We don't need cheerleaders right now. So back to my story. I went inside. I got a coffee and I got, some other little treats and something just to keep my mind away from the ladies that
What
were
was going
washing
on
my car
outside?
and trying to, drag out time, and they're finally done. And they're like, thank you so much. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. And I just, yeah. So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Ladies, modesty is a great thing. Let our minds wander. I'm talking about ladies that are old enough to be ladies, not these young ladies, just ladies, but females in general. Please wear
Just
something that
yes, just females in general. That
that
is
cliche about leaving something to the imagination.
it's true.
Leave something to our imagination. We're really good at it. Years
Mhm.
of watching years of watching, we're very good at it. Ask any
Mhm.
teenage boy, we're very good. Ask any adult male that's
Mhm.
ages 20 to 60. We're very,
Mhm.
very good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I am a firm believer, and this is something that we were started discussing at the in the middle break there. And it's kind of difficult because it's not necessarily their fault, is that this is how they're designing the swimsuits now, where the full coverage swimsuit is a bit of a dying breed now. It's someone with a mom bot, as I said during the break, someone with a mom bot, it kind of is difficult to find something that provides the coverage that I need and still have it look cute so that I don't look like an old lady because I'm
Yeah,
not old,
you don't want to look like
but
from the 1920s.
you don't want to look like you're going in like a full body swimsuit, but you also don't want to be like so skimpy that it just because they make it in your size doesn't mean you should wear it. So, it's okay with a little cutout here, a little off the shoulder here, a little low cut back or something like that because I have a few things like that. I have a few swimsuits that have um
A
they
little
have
skin.
cutouts that they
Yeah.
have cutouts in appropriate places where I don't feel self-conscious when I wear it. I mean, I always feel self-conscious when I wear a swimsuit, but these swimsuits, they have cutouts in the right places. It still is modest while still showing off a little bit. but not something that is like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Or, oh my gosh, look at that fat chick over there with that swimsuit. That she shouldn't be wearing that. I don't want to be that fat chick.
You know what the most attractive thing, and guys, you can back me up on this one too. Tweet at us. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll fight you for it. The
I'm
most
sure that they're
attractive
not.
the most attractive thing a woman can wear, a sundress. A sundress. It shows a
That,
hint of a curve, and that's
mm-hmm.
it. It shows a hint of a line, and that's it. It's so I love summer season just for the sundresses.
I have heard many gentlemen say the same exact thing. So it has to be true across the board.
It's a hint. It's a subtle
Yes.
just ooh, that could be a oh, it's like it's visual flirting. It's just a little smile.
Yes.
It's just a little line. It's just a little
Exactly.
yeah. And as a father of three girls, holy crap, this gives me a headache.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went swimsuit shopping not long ago, and I'm like, oh, I'm dreading what they're gonna come home with, son of a. But they're all very modest. They're
Mm-hmm.
very self-conscious. It's not because they don't have. It's not because they're not attractive.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I have just kind of brought them up as being very conservative, very modest, very
Mm-hmm.
self-aware of themselves.
And
And
that's the best thing. And that's the best thing that you can do. That's the best thing that you can leave them with.
yeah,
Learn to respect yourself so that others can respect you, and make conscious decisions when you choose articles of clothing to wear. And that's been like that for me, like all the time. Absolutely. Like even sleeveless tops, I still kind of feel self-conscious when I wear sleeveless tops. It's like I feel like I have to have something covering my arms. Like I'm of this belief that, like having fully uncovered arms, I'm like, that's okay for pajamas when you're at home. But when you're outside, not so much. I don't
hey,
know.
did you okay, since we're going down these different little things here, let me find it. Did you see, since we're talking about, women and men and what's attractive and what's not,
Hmm.
did you see what our buddy Toothpaste Words posted on Twitter a couple days ago?
I haven't been on the social media as much
Oh
because
my
work.
gosh. So her son is
Hmm.
dating a nice young lady.
Hmm.
And apparently she is now into the fact where she is leaving food for him while he's at work. And she wraps it up with little love notes on it. And she
Oh.
posted up one, and it's a picture
Hmm.
of what looks to be strawberry blueberry pancakes
Hmm.
with a little note that says, heat me up and smother me in syrup. I love you. Now, I'm sure she means the food because the first thing that came in my mind was something totally else. I'm sorry, Sarah, but fish, mind, man,
That's where we go.
whatever. But I thought that was the cutest thing that as a parent, and
Hmm.
two of my girls are dating, that if their significant person in their life drops off food for them
Yes.
just because
Hmm.
that they made, not that they went, great, they ordered out and they dropped it off. That's very nice of you. But they took time to make something and then dropped it off and with a little love note on it. That scores points with me. I don't even want to eat the food. Well, I might want to eat the food, but that scores points with me because it tells you what kind of person they really are. And that's it. Darn it. Toothpaste Words, Sarah, if you're listening, that's a keeper. Tell the boy that's a keeper. That's very cool. I think that's very, very cool.
I have to tell you that, and I probably those of you who are listening who know me well enough, they know that on Fridays when my husband works, especially when he's had a really long week and it's really hot outside, when he's working at the retail job in the afternoons, um, on Fridays I try, especially now that I'm working from home on Fridays, I clock out and then I go to Dairy Queen or to McDonald's or whatever, and I either get him an iced coffee or I get him like a coffee ice cream drink kind of thing. And I just take it to him for work so that when he takes his 15-minute break between 6 and 6:30, uh, our daughter is there. I'm there. I bring him a drink and he just sits, relaxes for a little bit. We chit chat and then he goes back to work. So I didn't do it this Friday, today being Friday. I didn't do it this Friday because he's home today. There's a couple of things going on in the world, but he's home this afternoon, so he didn't get his coffee drink today. But I'm sure he'll live.
Is
I'm
it
sure.
American Pride Roasters coffee?
No, I mean sometimes it is. If I made a full pot in the morning and I still have coffee left over, I'll put it in the fridge and then I'll bring it to him as iced coffee. Because that's the way that I roll. And we have to talk about the charity of the month, Fish. I'm going to talk about the charity of the month because you talked about our new sponsor, and that's very important. Our charity of the month. I'm sure that by now you have heard of exit scams and Bernie Madoff, calls about your car's extended warranty, pyramid schemes, and the Nigerian prince that just happens to need your help to get the diamonds out of his country. And as a benefit payment for helping him out, he's going to give you some of that money that he has. Today, though, you can put an end to all of that. You can stop charlatans and con men from taking advantage of the gullible, desperate, and let's just stay stupid, like your cousin Phil. For a simple donation, we can together end this chicanery that preys on the innocent and naive. We just ask for your support to help defend your neighbor, your grocer, your mailman, your accountant, sanitation worker, and yes, even your insurance agent from falling victim to just this terrible, terrible, terrible blight of our society. From falling victim to this crime. So just go to www.fishwantstogoderailed-shenanigansbailfund.com. That's derailedshenanigansfund.com or .ca or .org or .edu. Oh, we made sure that we covered everything because, there's so many websites nowadays. We want to stand out a little bit. We made sure that we covered all of our bases. Donate $100 to register and you'll receive 10% of all donations you raise. And help us help you. Dun-dun-dun. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. My fishy friend is frozen. It's frozen fish. But we can just deep fry him or air fry him. But since he's having some technical issues, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Dad Joke segment. Dad Jokes are brought to you by APR Coffee. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. We were just talking about them. I'm having some of the Reagan's Time for Choosing, which is great for any time of day or night because it's coffee and I can drink coffee pretty much whenever I please. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. They invite you to go out for lunch but forget their wallet when it's time to pay. They use both armrests at the movie theater and they drink the last of the coffee without making a fresh pot. And yet, their choices may be questionable at times, but they're definitely geniuses at making coffee. So go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Get yourself some and help support a small business. Dave and Tim in Iowa, making the best coffee you'll ever put in your mouth. Now, for the dad jokes, we didn't have a lot this week. So I'm going to start with the first one being one from our good friend Kinsey, also known as Amtrak, with his dad joke.
Hello, this is Amtrak, host of the Tin Can Radio program, and that can be heard on various podcast platforms such as Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcast, and iHeartRadio. And I'm here with another joke. Why is it that vampires have very few friends? Because they're always such a pain in the neck.
That was funny. The next one is coming from our good friend Lep, which you can hear later today as he fills in for Mike Phillip in American Knock Radio and Rockin' Sock'em Saturdays, which I think this weekend is slapstick comedy. That's the theme for this weekend. So here we go.
Good morning, my friends at Room 13. I've got a dad joke for you on this fantastic Saturday morning. What's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. That's bad. Hope it's a great show today, my friends, as always is. Hey, just a heads up, Jamie and I will be hosting Ain't You a Peach later today at 5 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. Hope to see you in the chats. Peace out, my friends. Until next time.
Yes, if you haven't listened to Ain't You a Peach on Saturdays at 5 p.m. on YouTube, they're hilarious. And they just have different, they pick a theme and they kind of break it down into different weeks. So I think that this week they're still talking about like little known facts of different states, which are very interesting. You get to learn a lot about this great country of ours, which is some really, really weird stories. And the last dad joke coming today from our good friend, Knights Who Say Knee.
This is the Knights Who Say Knee. This week I kept myself busy doing a theatrical performance on puns. It was a play on words.
That one was funny. I like that. I laughed when I heard it the first time because I have to do the clipping and, well, you know, I'm the production person, as I'm sure you know. Oh, we got another message. Wait, one sec. Where am I?
You've got mail.
There we go. I saved that from last week because I thought it was really funny.
You've got mail.
And it made me feel old too. We have another email from our good friend Sluggy, our field and garden reporter. And she sent us a quick note. And she says, to Rocky and the fish. Today is day 5 of house renovations. It's been a long, sluggish process. The first floor is almost done, but the second floor, that's a different story. That one was funny as well. Well, Fish is still having some audio issues, so I think I'm going to keep rolling with this show. Usually this is where we do the news, so I may have to do the news by myself too. Before we do that, we want to talk about Romika Designs, as they are the sponsor of our news segment. Go to romikadesigns.com for unique, high-quality, laser-engraved gift ideas by an American company. They have an odd name. It sounds like an odd yoga position. You know, warrior pose, tree pose. Now stretch to the right and assume Romika pose. But they offer great gift ideas for that special someone in your life, even if that special someone may be you. If you act now and use the code ROOM13 at checkout, you will save 10%. Do I have you again, Fish? He's muted. It's a silent fish. I know that fish don't talk, but they at least blub. No, I'm seeing a shaking of the head, so I'll have to continue. All right. You sound a little scratchy, a little underwater.
Yeah, not good for audio. I got a big delay.
Well, I can continue doing the show, and you can. Do you want to hang up and call again? We'll see. We'll continue. The show must go on, because if not, well, we'll get a strongly worded letter from one Ron Wonky Eye Phillips, and I don't want to see the principal. I don't want to go to the principal's office. I never like going to the principal's office. So here we go. I'm going to do the news by myself.
Room 13 News, hard-hitting, compelling, trustworthy, honest and caring, with Rocky with an Eye and the Mojo River Fish.
Welcome to Room 13 News. I am Rocky with an Eye. Fish is out on assignment. The first news in Syracuse, New York. Police were quick to apprehend a man who held up dining customers at a local international house of pancakes. After the ordeal was over, the customers were quick to describe to our field reporter how awful the ordeal was. In Olympic news, a fight broke out when they played the wrong national anthem at the Olympic ping pong finals for a Chinese team. It was a Hong Kong ping pong sing-song ding-dong. Oh, and finally, corduroy pillowcases are in the news across the nation. They're making headlines everywhere. Oh, wait. This just in. James French was put to death today via the electric chair. CNN reported in a tweet this morning that French fries. I thank Fish for that one. He literally just wrote that joke just before we started recording. So there's that. Now to some odd news here. Let's see. Pillars of mosquitoes fill the sky in Russian driver's video. Mosquitoes are the plight of just about anybody who wants to go outside in the summer. This is why I hate
It's a
this
state
time
bird
of
of
year.
Florida too.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. We have mosquitoes of different sizes. We have these really big bugs that they look like mosquitoes, but they're not really mosquitoes. I think it's a different insect. I just don't know what it's called. I haven't really done my research to know what it's called. But they look like planes. They look like drones, damn it. A man driving in a Russian village captured video of a massive swarm of mosquitoes that formed pillars stretching from the ground to high up in the sky. And looking at that video, that doesn't look like mosquitoes. That looks like a freaking cow is going to go. Well, it's Russia. Was it near Chernobyl, maybe? Maybe those were Chernobyl mosquitoes. Ugh. Alexei Ponomarev said he was driving in Ust-Kamchatsk. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
A village in the far eastern Kamchatka Krai region where the giant cloud of mosquitoes made it difficult for him to see through his windshield. I can't say how high these pillars were. It seems up to the clouds. Ponomarev told kamchatinfo.ru.
I'm
There
so
were
glad you picked
many.
this article.
Yes, there were many of them, both in the village itself and around. Entomologist Lyudmila Lebkova said the mosquitoes were displaying a mating behavior. Oh, lovely. Just what you need. Mosquitoes doing it in midair. She said most of the insects in the footage were males, which do not bite humans, flying around a smaller group of females. That's disturbing.
So they were doing it mosquito style.
Yes, they were doing it mosquito style. So you were
That
going to
sucks.
be you were going to be very disappointed. It was going to be very disappointing for you because mosquitoes and well, I don't know. I don't know if they use it here in Florida. It's funny because I went to take out the we have garbage pickup twice a week, and I was hearing this sound coming from outside, and as I'm opening the garage as I'm hearing the sound, and I find the pickup truck, I guess that the county sends over, that sprays the insecticide, the anti-mosquito insecticide into the air, and I'm like, oh, I guess I better go back inside and wait 20 minutes and then come back out. Because this is mosquito season. So, and we've had a lot of rain these past couple of days, pretty much since last week. We usually have thunderstorm o'clock in the middle of summer, where anywhere between 3 and 4 o'clock we have like a really bad thunderstorm, and then it goes away, and it just continues being hot as hell, as it is in Florida in the summer.
Yeah, I'm not moving to Florida. That's not
but
talking me into moving.
you're just looking at the bad things in Florida, and not all of
What's the
Florida
good
is
thing?
bad. No, it's a minor thing. Just stay indoors. In the middle of summer, when you live in Florida, stay indoors. That's the best thing that
That's
you can
not
do.
fun.
Yes, it is. There's plenty
I
of
like
things that
the
you can do
outside.
indoors. You can be outside if you have a covered lanai.
That's
You
like
can
being
stay.
inside.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
If it's covered, that's inside.
You can have an uncovered lanai just with a screen.
That's still the inside.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Clearly, you haven't been to Florida lately. Mine is a covered lanai, so it does feel like being inside. But a lot of the houses out here have screened in lanais where you're not. You can feel like you're outside. It's just screened in.
It's outside adjacent.
Yes, exactly. It's outside with all of the benefits of being outside without the pests outside.
So where am I supposed to run?
Outside, just inside the enclosed area.
But I can't. I like going for long runs. That's the fun of the
You love,
outside.
well, you just spray yourself with some bug spray and you'll be fine with some off or
No, it sounds.
cutter or whatever other insect repellent you want to utilize. You don't even have to spray yourself. You can use one of those citronella bracelets.
No,
They're
it sounds like I'm
similar
gonna have to
to
arm
one of
myself.
these.
I wonder
No,
if I have a holster that can.
don't shoot the mosquitoes. Please don't.
They're
That's
pretty
not what
big.
we do. That's not what we do in Florida. We do not shoot
Well,
the
then you're doing
mosquitoes.
it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
They should, if they're that big that you can shoot them, they should be shot.
No, they're just easier to see. And I'm telling you, those big insects that I see flying about, I'm pretty sure that they're not mosquitoes.
So we have a theme this week for our news. Do we have enough time to do news article number 2? We're gonna do Rocky math right now. It could be off by 3 minutes. It could be off by 10 seconds. We'll find out shortly.
No, we actually have probably like less than 2 minutes.
A dump truck crash spills cow poop onto Florida highway. Are those skid marks or are those skid marks? Hey now, the Florida Highway Patrol said a section of interstate was closed when a crash involving a dump truck loaded with cow poop caused a poop to spill into the highway. The FHP, Florida Highway Patrol, the dump truck was involved in a crash with a semi-truck at a mile marker 198 in the northbound lanes of Interstate 95 near Rockledge in Brevard County on Tuesday. No one was injured in the crash, but the dump truck loaded of cow manure. Actually, it did maneuver too. It maneuvered to spill the manure. Spilled out onto the road, making a messy situation for cleanup crews. Although the grass has never been greener along that section of the highway. Traffic was being diverted from the interstate to Fisk Boulevard until lanes could be reopened, the FHP said. It's a really shitty story. I'm sorry, but I figured I'd share it with you. Ew, I'm looking at pictures now.
Hello. Yeah,
That's not good. That is not good.
Brevard County is the county that has Cocoa Beach. I was over there in that general area on Memorial Day weekend. So it's on the other side of the peninsula. It's about 2.5 hours away if you leave early enough. 3 hours if you leave in the middle of the day, because you have to get on I-4. And you have to, the middle point between where I live and Cocoa Beach is Orlando and the amusement park area. So that area is always going to be full of vehicles. So even when you try and plan getting there quickly, you're going to be sitting in traffic for a little bit. And there are no rest stops. If you get off the highway, it's to use facilities near International Drive, and then you have to get back on I-4.
Is that the east side of the Florida penis or the west side of the Florida penis?
Can I say it's the top?
By the way, if you're looking for the visual, that Florida looks like a penis.
Yes, in case you didn't realize that it's the dangling participle of the United States. Thank you, everybody, for coming along with us this Saturday morning. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but we hope to see you next week.
You're still here? It's over.
There's nothing left to see.
Go home.
Yes, please do. And if you're home, go back to bed.
Go.
And that's that. It's funny because I thought I was going to be the one with the technical difficulties.
Is so shitty.
I don't know. And I started noticing the crackling coming from your microphone that I thought it was the microphone.
Let's try something. We'll do that. We'll do this.
Yeah, it's like I legit thought it was just your microphone, but I'm like, well, it's the same microphone that I'm using, and I'm not having issues with it, so I don't know.
This. Is that any better?
Still crackling when you're talking.
No, I
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me okay? Can you hear me okay without it crackling?
No, you're crackling all over the spot. You're like, there's a delay, and you're crackling awful.
Oh, heck. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I guess we're going to find out. Thank you, everybody, for coming along. Well, fingers crossed it all worked out okay. See you next Saturday.